Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever thought of what crypto native games are actually going to be like? I know that I think about this a lot because I don't think that they're going to look anything like what we think they are. And I think we're in for a world of very pleasant surprises. So, in this video, I just want to break down what this could look like, where we currently stand, and why I'm very optimistic for the future, but cautiously so because of how early we are and how much mystery there is in the future. So let's dive into, I don't know if it's a presentation, but just put together some information for you guys. So I wrote this article, after interviewing this gentleman, Jorge Schnurra, and he is the president and co-founder of Mad Lions, which is one of the biggest esports organizations in Europe. He's also part of Overactive, which is a publicly traded company, just absolutely massive. And what he was really talking about was this idea of crypto games are going to look completely different when they're fully crypto native. So if you think about it, think back to the times of Pong way back in the day, like super early on in gaming, compared to now with what we have with League of Legends. Like, look at the difference. I mean, you could see for yourself how different this is going to be. And so we have to think now, okay, we've moved from the basic engine being non internet native with Pong to then internet native with better hardware, better software, more developers, more funding. Big brands are getting into it and they all realize where the consumers are, and then you have a massive amount of people. There are hundreds of millions of people, billions of people playing games every day. So industry is going to move forward with it. Like I said, here in this article that I wrote, which I'll link in the description, we haven't even begun to scratch the surface of what's possible. Just with blockchain, it's going to be a game changer, just with the technology and what that means for gaming. Crypto is going to add in massive financial pieces. AR and VR are going to be turbocharged by blockchain and crypto. And then again, hardware is always improving every single day. The internet's always improving every single day. We'll have better speeds, better storage. And then think about when something like what Elon Musk is doing with his Neuralink, like think about the implications of that in regards to the games that we play. Like you can think of something in your mind and then it happens in a game. That's amazing. Like that is beautiful. And so really my thesis here is that the future of gaming is going to look nothing like the past but the caveat is when it really hits scale. And so you can see I have a trillion and one tabs open. I just want to show you like what some of the games are looking like today, because they're definitely not what it's going to look like in the next 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. It's going to be very, very different. And truly, it's going to be magical. So let's hop right into it. And just scrolling through the end of the article here, basically just saying like, give me the best. I want the best. I'm a gamer. I want to do the amazing short art online. I want to play the amazing Ready Player Ones, obviously without some of the drawbacks. And really the extent of what we can do with gaming is based on the extent of our imagination. So let's take a peek at some of the games that are currently out there. So we see something like a blockchain Brawlers. Now the reason I wanted to pick this one was, one, they've been on the show, so I always want to shout out folks that I know a little bit more about. But these guys are one of the flagship games of Wax Studios. And Wax is one of the most, not one of the most, it is the most used blockchain on the planet. Trust me on this one. I was completely I had no idea that was the fact, but if you actually go look on DApp Radar, you can see that Wax is actually the most used blockchain on the planet. And so Blockchain Brawlers is an up-and-coming game, and we can see that they don't even have gameplay. They just have these cool graphics, and so we can imagine what it will look like. But in the interview that I actually did with one of the main leads on this game, like this is going to be a big title and a big deal in the crypto gaming space on the forefront. And in the beginning, it's going to be more of an auto battler. So we haven't even gotten to the place where we have direct control of the actual brawlers. And just to kind of cement this idea, they don't even have a token out yet. You can buy like these different packs, and it says like 939 wax as the price of this. Well, do you think that that's even come close to hitting mainstream? Like, how many people do you know actively have the ability to spend wax? Very, very few, right? Very few people even know that wax exists. Even fewer know how to spend it. And then once that you're in that realm, how many are actually coming to this one game and spending it? So even a game that is as big of a deal as this one, like I said, it's a game by Wax Studios, and it has a pretty powerful team, and I'm pretty bullish on the project, but it's so difficult. We haven't even come close to hitting mainstream with this. This is just one example. The next example is Crypto Unicorns. So this group has done close to, I don't know, close to 100 million in sales just with their NFTs, with the land and some of the initial pre-sales. And again, they don't have a game out yet. I love Crypto Unicorns. Their community is, I absolutely loved interacting with them on the interview that I did with the founder Aaron. But still, the amount of ability to interact with this with this project, it's not even there yet. You can't even really play it. So, looking at it, right now there are just a couple of different ways to be a part of the ecosystem, but we haven't even gotten to the point where we can innovate with gameplay yet because it's still so early on. Another one is Fight Legends. This is actually the first interview that I've ever done, but I just want to show you they just released their demo. And so this one's a little bit further out, right? The game's not out, but the demo's out. And so this gives me like a Mortal Kombat type feel where, as you can see, it's very Mortal Kombat-esque. But Mortal Kombat was a very, very, very early on game in the whole crypto gaming space. And so, we just have to really keep in mind that what we're seeing today, as far as crypto gaming goes, it is not what is going to happen when we reach scale. We're still in the Pong days, and we don't even understand the technology that the League of Legends of crypto is going to be built with. And we're still thinking legacy of like how to port old game like Web 2 games into Web 3, but we're not thinking about what is possible with this new technology that is only possible in Web 3. Just want to keep showing you, if you want to become a part of this, how can you? You don't even know how to. It's even difficult to like become a part of this whole thing. I'm on their website and again, I'm not fudding these guys. I love these guys, but if you wanted to buy, like how you can join a Telegram, you can look at the white paper, but like how do you actually purchase that? Let's move on to one of the games that I actually think is a pioneer, which is Decentral Games. And what's cool is that we can actually play this game. So this is a snapshot from within the game, and it's a fully active casino with really interesting gameplay and a game loop. And this is actually one of the most forefront of what's on the bleeding edge of Metaverse gaming right now, of crypto gaming right now. And it's a casino, and it's built within a different game. So the Decentral Games is built within Decentraland. Now, this is probably one of the most sophisticated games that's out and revenue generating and actually has a good business model with a solid future. And they're at about 150 million market cap as of the filming of this, the recording of this. And so what's interesting is even a game that is barely scratching the surface of potential gameplay, it is unbelievably powerful right now from a financial perspective because this is all that we've got. I mean, it's so early on that something with even, not the most advanced on graphics, but really just a fun game with an impressive loop and, a really good revenue generation, business model. It's getting significant market cap and investment. But this is not what the end game of the metaverse is going to look like. This is not what it's going to be when it's fully at scale. So I just want to help you get some perspective on like what it's going to look like. Now, Nine Lives Arena, they're in alpha right now, obviously, since this is an alpha leak. So this gives you kind of World of Warcraft type vibes. And so, okay, now we're catching up more a little bit with what's down in the pipeline of like what's going to be possible and what's going to come out later down the road. And so, seeing a little bit more of the gameplay here, it's almost like it looks like a mixture of WoW and Diablo. And so, that's moving us a little bit upward on the timeline of what legacy games have looked like. And so, okay, so we have these games coming in the future, but it's not out yet. It hasn't hit scale yet. It's still being developed. It's still in alpha, and games can stay in alpha for a while. Again, I love Nine Lives Arena. They've been on the show. I absolutely love the founder. I think he's brilliant, and I really enjoyed talking about the gameplay loop. But just to give you an idea of like how early we still are, and that we haven't even scratched the surface. And so again, to participate in this, they don't have a coin out right now, to my knowledge. Maybe at the time that you're watching this, but you still have to go in and buy through, the different, the different things that they have on their website. And so, you have to come in, and this is not sophisticated. This is not what it's going to be like when things have fully hit scale. Like, this is not really smooth. Again, I love these guys. Are not funny at all. But just to show you, like, this is not even close to what it's going to be like. And just the final thing I wanted to show you is this, just a gameplay loop of Chain Guardians. Again, these guys are fantastic. They're building out a whole ecosystem. And what's interesting about these folks is that they too have a coin. They're at about 30 million market cap, and they're doing a fantastic job. They're doing a fantastic job. They have a player base. They have some really cool mechanics and a whole ecosystem. But really, it just goes to show that we are not even close. We're absolutely not even close. And what is coming down the pipeline is going to be magnificent, and it's going to be magical. And I can't tell you how important it is that at the time of this filming, it's only, what is today? It's February 9th, 2022. Like, we're so early. Let's look at Bitcoin, right? Let's look at this. So in the very beginning, there was such little activity here, and crypto was not very well known. Had a couple of spikes, and it really started to hit more mainstream adoption in 2021, where it was really on people's radar in a big, meaningful way from a market cap perspective. Well, in the beginning, and this doesn't even go back to 2009, 2010, really, when Bitcoin first came onto the scene and cryptocurrency came onto the scene. But it took roughly a decade for it to actually become something really important to the world, beyond just doing the nefarious things in the very, very, very beginning that Bitcoin was used to do. So if we think it took Bitcoin 10 years, now obviously technology increases at an increasing rate. So if we're thinking from the gaming space, there's a better use case initially. It's going to happen a lot more quickly, hopefully, but we also have a lot more to build out. Just because one currency gets adoption in this previous cycle, that doesn't mean that we don't still have a lot of work to go and a lot of room to go. Some of the different folks that I've had on the show, and just to give you a little bit of context, when I started was the Crypto Gaming Institute. And so I've had some just amazing people on the show, just to show you what this, what the guest list actually looks like. Let's go check it out let's go to a random one. Let's go to like Stitcher, for example. So, I've had over 50 people on the show, and so we're seeing, I'm just seeing from folks like Dap Raider, who has millions of people on their platform, to Francesco from Somnium Space, Carlos from Bitcraft, one of the biggest investors in the the gaming ecosystem, Moonbeam, Moonriver, which is one of the bigger ecosystems on Polkadot, Zach from Mintable. This is one of the largest, arguably the largest NFT marketplace on the planet. So I'm talking to all these people, and we're so early on. Right now, what we're seeing is that we're not even scratching the surface, guys. And I know I keep saying that, but if we really think about it, what happens when, and I want to go back here to really point out this, bring this example to light again, but what happens when we really start to throw away this old assumption of, okay, well, we just need to redo what we've done previously and just bring it to Web3? Yes, that's going to have to happen. That's probably going to be the easiest way for people to understand what they're signing up for and what they're doing in the game. But think about when we get past that, and when the crypto native games are built with all of the technology of the future, the games aren't going to look like what they did previously. The games are going to take on a whole new shape. They're going to take on a whole new form. And frankly, I'm incredibly excited about this because as a gamer, I want to play those games. I want to play the newest games, the best games. I want to be able to go in and have complete immersion in this amazing ecosystem of games and technology. And to me, it's just so far away, but so close at the same time. And so, I just wanted to make this video because I just wanted you all to have perspective that as of today, what we're seeing in the world of crypto gaming, what we're seeing in the metaverse is not even close to what it's going to look like when it fully hits scale. And so for all the critics out there that are saying the games suck today and there's really no need to go down this whole rabbit hole, and why are we wasting all of our time, and it's a Ponzi, blah blah blah, what I would say to you is, what about the internet in the 1990s? There was a lot of people were saying the same thing there, and it was because it was internet version 0.000001, and we're so early on with this crypto gaming phenomena that I don't even know. We're probably about that. We're probably about that early. We're probably in the 1990s as far as the internet goes. So we're in the Pong days when I really want us all to think about what's possible when we reach the league days, because it is coming and we are the ones that are responsible for building it. And the beauty of that is once we bring this technology to scale, think about how important that is going to be for the rest of humanity. Gaming often leads, and candidly also a lot of porn does. So usually porn and gaming are what drive a lot of commerce and innovation and technology. But let's stick to the gaming one because that's really where I have my expertise. But gaming really drives a lot of technological innovation, and it pushes forward where we are as a society and as a species when it comes to the technology and just what's possible. And so let me hop over here just so you all have something interesting to look at as well. But so when we think of what that's going to look like moving forward, the gaming space is really what's going to drive adoption of these technologies and drive further investment into these technologies. And as the dollars flow in, the smart people flow in, experiments are done, innovation happens, then the resulting technology and productivity increases are going to benefit humanity. But it needs a vehicle to get there, and the games are going to be how we get there. So as a society, I really hope we move away from oh, this isn't really cool right now. This isn't doing the things that are being promised right now. And I would really encourage everybody to start thinking in terms of, okay, well, what's possible if we all come together as people and push this technology to the limit? What can we actually create? What can actually be done? What is actually possible? And I think if we move towards more of that perspective, we're going to see that the world is heading to a really interesting place. If we cannot all fucking murder ourselves with different wars or different squabbles between people, and we can put aside our differences, we can take care of the environment so that plant trees so we can play cooler games, as Carlos at Bitcraft said on a previous interview. I think we have a really interesting future ahead of us, and it's really up to us to help build that future. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of perspective. One of the other reasons, the selfish reasons why I'm advocating so hard for crypto gaming is because I want to play these cool ass games. Like I want to play these amazing games. Think Ready Player One. Think Sword Art Online, and all of the just the amazing immersive experiences that we can all have in the metaverse. It is there. It is possible. We just have to build for that, and we have to take ourselves to that spot. So hopefully this gives you perspective, gives you something to think about, gives you some examples to kind of launch your own research from. And if you're not sure how to get into the world of crypto gaming, think about what skills you have. Like what can you do today that is useful to a company, that is useful to a project. And if you don't have any sort of skills, then what do you like to do? If it's playing the game, great. Go out and play the games because you'll find community and you'll be a part of that community. But if you have a job in Web 2, you want to get into Web 3, what are you doing in your job that people are paying you for? Okay, well the Web 3 projects and companies are going to need the same things. So you can make that jump pretty easily as long as you're willing to learn a little bit about crypto and become crypto native. It may seem a little overwhelming in the beginning, but you can do it because I've done it, and it really doesn't take a tremendous amount of work and effort beyond just reading some books, watching some YouTube videos, listening to some podcasts, dive into crypto Twitter. So you can do it. The future is bright, and I really hope we all can just kind of fix this picture in our minds of this beautiful future, and that can bring us through the turbulence that inevitably comes when any sort of new technology is being created and entirely new industry is being built. So that being said, I wish you all a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you on the next video. Take care.